you can go.
Ready?
Hello, this is Angela Anderson. Thanks for joining me tonight. We are going to be painting this hummingbird. He's probably a medium difficulty painting. Hopefully we'll get him done in about an hour, hour and a half, something like that. So let's get started. All right, I've got my husband Mark here with me.
Hey there, everybody.
The live show. So if you've got any questions while I'm painting this, you can ask him. He will pass those along to me. And pull out my paints here. Keep them in a Ziploc bag to keep them moist. And they'll stay good like that for about a week if I keep spritzing them every couple days. So, and if you worry about mold, you can put them in the refrigerator too to keep them mold from growing. Let me grab a large flat here for the background. This is my example painting. It's on a 9 by 12 inch mixed media, I couldn't think of the word, mixed media paper here. So if you want to look that up, it's down in the description, the mixed media notebooks that I use for my practice sheets. And then this one is an 8 by 10. I decided to make it a little bit smaller for tonight's show, so it'll go a little faster. And I'm just going to cover the background. Kept it pretty simple. Wanted the bird to be our focal point. So thank you, honey. Here's our palette. We've got titanium white, unbleached titanium, carbon black. Let me pull it off here. Burnt umber, burnt sienna, cadmium yellow medium. This is brilliant yellow green. It's basically phthalo green and yellow together, but it's a pre-mixed color, so I popped it out there. Teal, turquoise phthalo, and phthalo blue green shade, ultramarine blue, quinacridone magenta. Turquoise can be mixed with phthalo blue and phthalo green, and then if you add white to it, it'll make this teal color. So that's our basic palette. Set that aside over here, and we're going to do the background in kind of a soft blue. So I'm going to use the phthalo blue and a little bit of burnt sienna. It makes a nice turquoise color, and then we'll add some white to it. And I'm just pulling a little bit off the side of my paint puddles so that I don't contaminate the whole thing. So I'm just kind of trying to pull a little bit off each time that I grab some paint, just off the side here. And that can control, I can control it better than if I just kind of grabbed it from the top. Okay, I'm just going to lay this on my panel, and this is not a prepped panel. There's nothing that I've done to it. It's just pre-gessoed, so it's all primed and ready to go. Most canvases nowadays will come pre-gessoed, so I don't usually gesso my canvas boards, but or canvases. But if you've got a really inexpensive canvas that you're using, you might want to gesso it and sand it down a little bit if you want it super smooth. But I'm just going to lay this on nice and thick and just smush it around to fill it in. I kind of added a little bit extra white there in the middle. How you doing tonight, honey?
I'm doing good.
Good.
I think I turned my mic on. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I was chatting this before the show today, actually.
Yeah, you were in the chat room.
Got done early, got ready early, so I was able to
Special bonus for
go
everybody
in there
who
to chat.
jumped in early.
Got in there early, yeah.
Gave me a chance to eat my chips and cookies.
Exactly.
Well-balanced nutrition.
Yeah. All right, so I'm just kind of laying it on thickly, and then I go back over it very lightly and just kind of blend it out a little bit, very lightly, kind of just touch it. If it starts to dry, it'll get sticky, so you don't want to mess with it. Like up here, it's probably getting, it's not too bad right now. Once it starts to dry, though, you'll notice that the paint will feel kind of thick and sludgy, and it'll start to lift off the canvas if you mess with it. So I'm going to put in some green, phthalo green in this corner here. Add it to the color that I've already got. Just kind of lay that in there.
So do we know what kind of flowers?
This is honeysuckle, I think. It's some sort of a
Ooh.
pink honeysuckle it looked like in the picture.
Yeah,
I'm
that
not
looks
sure.
kind of familiar.
Yeah, we've got some. It's Mars is more red, huh? The hummingbirds love it. They pretty much camp out in it, and then guard the feeders from it and dive bomb each other. All right, I'm gonna put a little bit up here, just a little bit of white streaks. All right, I'm gonna let you dry this, honey, if you don't mind.
You didn't tell me.
I know, sorry.
I was not
You're not prepared for drying?
Yeah.
Are you all, what?
I have to get my mind in the right space. You need to let me know ahead of time.
Sorry.
Jeez.
Okay, here. Do it. Oh, kitty, Cashmere, what do you want?
Where is the blow dryer?
I don't know. Did you move it?
Oh yeah, I put it in here.
Okay. It's going in the other room there. So if you're new to our channel, welcome. We're really glad to have you join us tonight. This is our stickman, our mascot. Mark drew him. I'll go ahead and give him a little hummingbird. He's pretty much full at this point, but okay, that head is a little bit big. Oh well. I'll give him a couple wings. But we add something to him every show, so usually just kind of fills the time when Mark's drawing for me. He's nice enough to do that. Here's a little hummingbird beak. Here we go. He's next to the flying jellyfish. Thank you, hon. That was quick.
One of the boys been using it.
Wonder if the boys have been using it. Yeah, that's in their bathroom. I don't think so. I'm sure they were wondering what it was doing in there. Okay, I am going to just put a little bit more color on here now that we've got our first layer on. I'm just going to add a tiny bit of pink. Add a little white to that. I'm kind of mixing in with the background color on the palette there. And it's pretty watery, so I'm going to tap off my color on a paper towel there just to get the extra off. And just kind of wash in glaze over it with some of this pink in a couple of places. And once you put it down, you can kind of go back and just kind of feather out the edges a little bit if it's kind of got a noticeable start and stop spot, but usually if you water it down enough, it won't be too bad. Now you want to definitely make sure that your background is completely dry when you do this, because if it's not, it'll lift off the paint underneath. So you never want to wash over the top of a drying layer of paint, because it will definitely lift off the color underneath. That water just kind of activates the paint underneath that's not dry. All right, so it's just kind of a little blush of pink. It's very subtle, but I want to do the same thing with a little bit of green. I'm going to grab some of that green and a little bit of white and pull it through that area there. It's pretty watery. Just put a little bit of that in here too. And I'm using a filbert this time because it'll kind of give me more rounded edges on my wash here, but honestly doesn't matter because really the brush strokes are not showing that much. So
Hold on here. Trish
Yes.
wants to know
Yeah.
if they can use a glazing medium.
Absolutely, yes, yeah.
Even if you're not American, you can do what you want.
That's right. Yes, in fact, it probably would give a better bond to the canvas than just water. Because sometimes washes, if you put too much water with them, they'll not bond properly to the paint underneath. So, good idea. Honestly, I have it sitting right here. Just forgot to put it out on my canvas. So, yep. Just forgot. Got so happy doing it. Okay. I don't know. It's drying pretty quick here. I think I can just draw on it.
You need another blow dryer?
I don't think so. I think I'll be okay. All right. So I'm going to fill in our hummingbird and kind of do a V shape for the wings here. So I want to make sure that I've got enough room for both of those right there, and then plenty of room for the body and the tail as well. So the body and tail kind of almost does a straight line with him, and then the wings kind of come up and over like that in this V shape. All right, I'm just kind of placing it right now. I'm not gonna put my full sketch on until I kind of get it figured out where I want to put it. I think right there. Yeah. Okay. So his head is going to be right in here. It's actually right, almost smack dab in the middle of the canvas. Blue chalk. Well, I'll press harder. You'll be able to see it better. So let's see, right here. You can see the top of the head there. It's kind of curved, and it comes in just a little bit, and then goes straight. And the back is slightly arched, and then the tail continues that line. So it's almost a straight line from the head there. Kind of comes around in a little bit back out and then in. All right, so then the middle of the body here is kind of an oval shape like this, long oval. And if you want to draw a small circle for the head, you can, and then sort of connect the two with a curved line in. Like that. And then the tail is kind of thick right through here. It sort of tapers down from the body. And I'm going to make him a little bit chubbier because he's kind of a little bit bigger in our photograph that I'm using. And I just kind of got a couple of reference pictures from the internet, so I combined a couple. So the top of this curve here is where the wing starts here, and it kind of curves up and out. Slight arch right here. And kind of comes to a point and then tapers back in. Like that. And then kind of points right back to the beginning part. So there's like a little V shape right there where it attaches. And then this is gone. And then this other wing curves up and over, and it actually is not as high as this one, so it's kind of right. Actually, let me pull this one up a little bit. That may be too big. Making his wings a little bit too big here. There we go. Just some small adjustments here. All right, so there and in. Like that. What are you doing? Taking pictures?
Taking some promo pictures.
Nice.
For the ads.
Okay, kind of curves up slightly. Like that. All right, so that's our basic shape. He's got some feet down here that curve in like that. And I'm going to go ahead and do the hummingbird first and then do our flowers if we have time, because the flowers I'm going to try to keep it as close to an hour as we can. I want to have plenty of time to do our hummingbird here. Okay. Let me grab this one. This is my number 4 round. Ooh, super chat.
We got super chat.
Thank you.
I don't know who it's from because I'm delayed in the chat.
Uh-oh.
But I'll let you know.
Okay.
Because we got questions piling up.
Okay. Go ahead.
So the first request was to explain in a little bit more detail the background painting. How was it put? No, I can't find it.
I'm going to curve that more straight right here.
I guess the blending. Explain the underpainting for newbies.
I put it on fairly thickly at first. Are they wondering about the colors or the application?
I guess the technique.
The technique is kind of a cross-hatching motion. So I do really load it up pretty thick on my brush and just kind of lay it on in a cross-hatching motion. I find sometimes with beginners that it's easier to just dab the paint straight onto the canvas and then sort of smush it around. So if you're having trouble with your blending, you might try that. Try pre-mixing a few different colors and sort of laying them out in little spots and then quickly blending through them. But this one was, fairly thick paint here that we used to do it. So it went on pretty quickly, and it's a fairly thick application of paint. And then if it doesn't go on, I just kind of like to do the cross-hatching motion so that if there are any brush strokes showing, like there are kind of in the corner over here, it just sort of adds to that painterly effect. You don't have to blend everything out real smoothly. So this one is definitely a much more impressionist or kind of, soft, blendy, painterly background. It's not
I like that
smooth.
word, painterly.
Painterly, yeah. Like
so the super chat was from Erin.
Thank you,
And
Erin.
she said, hope everyone's having a great week.
Oh.
Thank you so much, Erin. Appreciate it.
That's sweet. I know it's only Tuesday. It feels like it's longer. I don't know. This is one of those weeks. This was my 3rd painting today. Tried 3 paintings today. And the first 2 just did not work, so. Alright, I've added a little bit of black to my Phthalo Blue here. I'm going to do the background of the hummingbird here. And he's got some spots on his cheek, so if you want to draw that in, you can. His eye is right kind of across from where the beak ends, right there. And then he's got this kind of triangular or rectangular kind of shape that kind of comes off of his cheek there. So you can kind of draw that in if you want. It'll help you kind of know where to lay out those colors. All right, then I'm putting on dark color on this guy so that when we put on our lighter colors, there's something underneath to contrast with. So always, 90% of the time with acrylics, the technique is dark to light. So you're gonna lay in some dark color first. All right, grabbing some ultramarine or burnt umber here and mixing that in and making kind of a dark gray color with that blue. And this is where I can kind of edit my drawing here, kind of look at my reference image and just make sure that I've got the drawing kind of where I want it. And I'm not being super smooth with this. When I'm doing these edges, I'm kind of laying them in a little bit roughly. And I'm doing all of the brush strokes in the direction that those feathers would grow, so that if any of them show through, they will just look like we meant to do that. So.
And what's brush you're using again?
This is a number 4 round. This is my Robert Simmons one. I was using the Princeton round earlier to do it, but it wasn't laying a. It does. Let me show you the difference here. I'm just used to using the Simmons round versus this one. This one actually bounces back a little bit better, but it doesn't want to stay in a square shape, and I was trying to get that kind of squared off edge, so it takes a little bit longer for this one to. You really have to press down a little bit harder for it to stay, and you saw that this one did it in one. So we're going to use this with and create our little feathers. If you have a smaller flat brush, this one's just a little bit too big for the feathers. So, and this one just wasn't staying. As soon as I did 2 or 3 feathers, it went right back to a point for me. So that's why I'm using this one, because I can do several and it won't. I don't know. This one just retains its shape a little bit longer. So, but it'll work with the Princeton round. You just have to press it back to a square shape a little bit more often. So I figured I have that one. Why don't I just go ahead and use it? Because I know it'll be a little easier.
Just gonna say welcome to everybody who's joined us tonight. We got over 300 watching us.
Wow.
Thanks for coming out.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
They like the hummingbird. That's good.
If you stumbled upon the channel or you saw a stickman being painted earlier and decided to stay, hope you give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. You can jump in chat and ask questions if you want to, and we'll try to get them on air.
Yes. Grabbing some burnt sienna here. I'm going to add some burnt sienna under here. It's really all about the undercolors on here, you know, just kind of laying out. Most of this is going to be covered up, but this will kind of help us know where to put the other colors. So we're going to lay a nice dark color down. Let me grab some green. I'm going to add a little bit of the burnt sienna to it just to kind of tone it down a little bit. And we'll add that in here. Actually, let me grab a little bit of white. These colors, Phthalo Green is very transparent, so a little white will help make it a little bit more opaque. There we go. Dark green. Right in through there. Grab a little bit of white and a little bit of ultramarine blue and mix a kind of a gray blue. Grab a little bit of burnt umber. I'm going to use that right in here between the green and the turquoise, and a little bit in the tail, a little bit more of the ultramarine. There we go.
Okay, we got somebody's asking what are bright brushes.
Bright brushes are a flat brush that's smaller. So the difference between this is a bright and this is a flat. In the same, you know, they're both actual flat brushes because of the shape, because they're smushed flat, but this one is a bright flat. So, and this one's a flat, just a flat. So, and then this one's round because the edge is round. So, really, it's technically not a flat. I just call them flat because it's.
So it doesn't refer to how light it is, how bright it is, like sunshine.
No. This is turquoise here, straight turquoise.
Who came up with that name? That just doesn't
Turquoise?
make any sense. No, bright.
I don't know.
For a brush.
Not me.
It wasn't very bright.
It wasn't you.
No.
Obviously.
No, it wasn't. So
yeah, I have no idea, actually. That's kind of a good question because it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. Okay, grabbing the brown here. And I'm going to put the leading edge of this wing in. should, no, we should be able to keep it in. Just laying in some of these darker colors here. And really I'm just kind of using what's on my brush. So there's a little turquoise left. It's kind of laying some color down. There is a sort of a box shape right here that happens. And then it sort of tapers up to sort of a triangle shape right here. And then all of these feathers are going to attach to that. It's a little bit longer. And it's gonna, here again, I'm just kind of being messy with it, but I'm sort of still kind of doing them in the general direction that the feathers are growing, so they're kind of coming out this way. All right. Clean out my brush. And I'm going to grab Ultramarine Blue, do this part right here with some Ultramarine Blue. Right around, I'm just going to go right over the top of that eye. I'll put it back in later. There we go. It's quiet without the fan going all of a sudden. Like, wow. And we don't have any boys with us tonight. Our house is empty, so it's just the animals and us. It's a lot quieter.
Okay, somebody in chat said that it came from the name of the person.
Oh,
Yes,
really?
The person was Bright.
Was Bright.
I haven't confirmed that, so take that with.
It was their name. Well, that is interesting.
We
Could
can
be.
challenge that.
Could be true. Who knows? I don't know. So
It sounds good. It sounds good to me.
I'm going to grab some teal here. I'm just going to mix a little bit lighter color. Cashmere's meowing again. What does she want?
She's bored.
She just wants attention.
She just yawned. She's not impressed with what you're doing.
Yeah, no. She's an indoor kitty, so she's really not going to be able to do anything about these birds here. Actually, this wing is a little bit farther down, maybe. Okay, and then I'm going to grab some of that turquoise and do it over here too on this wing. This wing's got a little bit of the color from the body showing. This is the underside of this wing, so that's why it's not as colorful. This one's going to have a little bit of the color right in here. And then grab some blue, or blue and black, ultramarine blue and black here. A little bit of white. Create a gray. I'm going to grab some of this unbleached titanium too. And just run both of those colors together. And they're all pointing down to this point right here. So all of the feathers are going to lead into that point. So once they get down here, some of them will kind of curve a little bit differently. But they all are going to kind of come down like this. We're not seeing a whole lot of this wing. And this is our, whoops, I was a little bit off there.
Just a little bit.
Okay. Grabbing some burnt umber here. Gonna do a little bit of burnt umber. Sort of in between there a little bit. Add a little bit of that color.
Okay, so it's either a conspiracy or somebody has confirmed the
Mm-hmm.
brush lure.
Okay.
But the brush was
Invented
by a, well, at least this line, I guess. A British physician, Richard Bright.
Why would be a doctor be creating a brush?
See, that's where I'm kind of skeptical. No.
Hey, I don't know.
So you can join
it's
chat.
on the internet. It's true. So
You can join chat and you can make up any facts you want to. Hashtag brush facts.
Yep. We use these same colors, so this kind of ultramarine blue gray color and burnt umber, and I'm gonna lay in. So these are kind of going this way, and then as I come up here, they're gonna be pulling down this way. So they're fanning out, but they're all kind of pointing to this direction right here. So if you kind of just try to remember that when you're putting these feathers in, you'll end up with them going in the right direction, and they won't be looking weird. Yeah, I was inspired to paint the hummingbirds because we just got some new hummingbird feeders at our house. Here, grabbing some ultramarine blue. And I'm going to grab a little bit of the unbleached titanium on one side. Yep, so marks.
Yeah, so we have like 5 regular hummingbirds.
Right.
So we got 6 feeders.
Yeah.
And they still fight over the same one.
Yeah, we're like,
it's like there's
oh,
room
we'll
for
get
everybody.
6, and then, yeah, they won't fight, and then, we can, they'll all be feeding together in peace and harmony. It'll be so cute.
Just like you see on YouTube.
Right, and no.
That doesn't happen. I think that's Photoshop
We
video.
saw the, it was so funny, we're so excited, and one of the first nights, there were 2 that were kind of sharing it. One was on one side watching the other one, and the one on this side waited till he was drinking, and he just came around and went, "Wow!" He nailed him right in the back. It's like, dude, I'm just trying to drink here. There's plenty on your side. It was so funny. He did it a couple of times, and the other one was just like, "Yeah, I don't believe you. You're not falling for that." They're very aggressive for cute little birds. They're not so nice. It's like, yeah, it's gotta hurt. Okay, did I put the wrong brush over here? I don't know how that happened. I was looking for my liner brush. I thought I grabbed it.
Uh-oh.
Let's brush it out here.
We need to have brush cam next.
I need to really have these separated out a little bit better. Okay, there's that. I had it right there. I wonder what I did to it.
I'll look on the floor. Hold on.
Yeah, it could be on the floor. I don't know, because I had my bigger... No, I don't know, see it. I know.
Can you
All
keep
right.
going now?
Yeah, I can.
Okay.
I can.
What are you looking
Bugging
for?
me. Well, it's a number 2 round. It's this.
That means so much to me. Well, you just said
I
that.
literally had it sitting right here before the show started.
Okay.
But oh well. I don't know what happened to it. It's gone.
Oh, well, this is exciting.
Disappeared.
Tutorial
I know,
video.
that's fine. All right.
Is it underneath this?
No,
I just wanted
there's
to
no
give it a
telling.
shot.
Okay, there's Mark's hand.
Cameo.
Well, I was just going to do it with the beak. I just
So
needed
what
it
color
for the
does it
beak.
look like? Is
So-
it this color?
Yeah, it's the silver
Okay.
one.
All right, I'll look around.
Okay.
Keep
I
going.
can't imagine where it would have gone to.
Keep going.
Give me that one. I didn't want it to wander off.
You think I'm going to steal it?
No, I just was like, don't want it to go out of my sight now that my brushes are walking away.
Did you rinse it and leave it in the kitchen?
No. No, it's not sitting in here either. I don't know. That is just weird.
I don't know.
No telling. I'll probably find it underneath the table or something later.
Just keep eating.
I know. Okay. This is like my biggest pet peeve, and people are seeing my worst pet peeve is not being able to find things.
Cashmere will help me look for it.
Cashmere's going to help you. She probably took it. This brush is a little bit thin. Well, I have other rounds, but Cashmere's like, I didn't do it.
It's not this one?
No. Get that out of here. What's the number on that one?
Number 2.
I don't know, maybe it is, but I thought it was longer than that. Did you see that?
I see that.
That was weird. Look.
It's set back.
It was, that's why it was hiding. Oh my gosh. That was weird. Okay, well, so it was sitting right here.
Saved the day.
Thank you, honey.
You're welcome.
All right, grabbing some white here. So I put that in with this brush. I'm just going to go ahead and keep using it since I've got it out. I'm going to put white along the top edge there, and then kind of pull it in under here too. So just like that. So this whole top portion is highlighted, and then I'll use this light gray color to outline the eye, which is going to go right in here. So basically you kind of follow this line where this ends right here out, and it's going to go around like that and create your eye shape.
I think we need more thumbs up for me finding that brush.
And that was so weird. I didn't even know that they would do that. That actually is probably not good that it moves all the way down into the ferrule like that. It's not supposed to do that. Okay, grabbing some black, and the eye is circular, so even though I'm putting in like a kind of an eye shape around it, the eye itself is just a round black circle. And I'm going to put it a little bit more farther forward than what I have there, because it's set in, if you split the head in half, it's going to set on the inside of the front side, beak side of the eye. And then grab some white and just fill in around it lightly like that. Grab a little bit more white while we've got it here, and I'm going to go ahead and highlight that top edge. It's a very small line with a little bit of white that's kind of mixed with the gray, and then I'm just going to dip the tip of the liner brush in the white so that I get a little dot on the tip, and I'm just going to dab it right there for a little highlight. Alright, let's go ahead and put the feet into with this color, this black. So the feet are going to curve out and back in, and then kind of curve in like that. So it kind of makes a hook shape. This one's got like that, and then another one back here, and these ones you can see the back claw coming the opposite direction. So there's like a couple that sort of are all mixed together right here, sort of thicker right there. And then grab some of that light gray color and just highlight that a little tiny bit, just to give it a little dimension. All right. Cute. All right, I'm going to go back to the... So now this is pretty much all that we have to do for the hummingbird prep. I'm going to take a damp paper towel and just very lightly make sure that my color's dry. So I'm not going to go around the feet there or the beak right now, but I'm just going to do this area so I can see where my wings are. See if there's anything I need to do to it.
Okay, so
carefully.
What brush were you using to do the feet?
That same liner brush. It was that 20-aught.
The 20. Okay.
20-0. But you could use the number 2 too. I just this is the one I used when I did my painting, but it was freaking me out because it was small. Not in the right.
We don't want
not the right size.
Yeah, it's on timeout right now.
It's on timeout.
Because it was not behaving.
Not behaving itself.
Yes.
Yeah.
We will teach it. You can just sit there and watch the other paintbrushes being used. We'll teach it a lesson.
That's right.
Don't be pushing your bristles down the ferrule on us.
Don't be hiding.
That's right.
You think you're doing.
You just won't get on YouTube.
Show you. Nope. Okay, grabbing the ultramarine blue here. And grab a little bit of black. I'm going to go in here and just kind of create some, might be a little bit too dark. Well, maybe not though, it's pretty dark. I'm going to go over here and just kind of create some small texture. I'm setting my brush down and sort of just dragging it slightly and lifting to create these little feather shapes. I'm going to grab some teal. Just spraying every now and then, spraying my palette so that it stays moist while I'm working. And I'm pressing my brush flat so that it's going to create this rounded filbert. If you have a small, very small filbert, it would work too. I'm going to just use the edge of it there to create some very small. You can go ahead and zoom it way in there if you want. There we go. That's good. Okay, I'll try to stay in focus here. That'll be the key.
You're going to be testing me.
I am.
All
You
right.
have to watch.
It's not focusing very well.
It's not focusing.
It's auto-focusing on the brush.
Uh-oh. Let me turn it around here so I can get, because I want the rounded edge to be.
Yeah, it's getting blurry.
Okay, so it's too close. Zoom out a little bit and. Okay, there we go. Is that better?
Yep.
Yeah, all right. So set it down, lift, and the idea is to not have too much paint on your brush so that it kind of creates a little drag feathery texture. See how it's doing it right there? A little bit better. This is turquoise, and then as I get down here, I'm going to grab some phthalo blue and mix that with the turquoise so it's kind of a lighter version of itself, and do some of those, maybe even a tiny bit of white. Do some of this. There we go.
Somebody's asked, oh, where to go? There it is. When you're doing the details like that, does it help to hold the brush loosely? Or do you hold it normally?
I hold it pretty normally. I mean, I'm pretty much always hold it fairly loosely. That's just a good habit to get into. Grabbing a little bit of white here. I'm going to highlight just a few of those with a little bit of white, bright white. All right. brighter white right here. Just tapping in. And tap in a little bit of it right around the eye. And then down here, some more of the teal and white. Pressing my brush flat, so I've got a good kind of flat edge. I'm going to go ahead and pull up this time. And I'm just sort of layering those in, slightly overlapping them. This is kind of our brightest area of our feathers right there, so I'll lay that down and then I'm going to go back in and add even brighter highlights. So I want to leave a little bit of the dark showing. Let's use a little bit of this on the wings over here. I'm just going to pull in this direction, let it kind of drag and create some highlights on that side of the wing, and then a little bit right here on this wing. Don't go over the edge right there. There's just a little bit on this wing right there. Not that far up actually, but we'll fix that. And then as I go down here, I'm going to grab a little bit of the green and just a little bit of this yellow, and I still have a little bit of the teal in my brush. That's okay right now. When you're doing the transition areas especially, you definitely want a little bit of the color that was previous, so it helps to have a little bit of the turquoise or the teal mixed in with the green, and then as I work down here I'll get more of the just solid green. Grab a little bit of the turquoise teal color. These are very small brush strokes, just slightly overlapping, leaving a little space for that dark color underneath to show through. If we went through with them too close together, they'd sort of merge into a solid color. I'm going to add a little bit of this green up here, right over the eye. And a little bit of this green in the wing here. Okay, now I'm gonna clean my brush out and grab more of this phthalo green and a little bit of this bright, brilliant yellow green. I'm having a little bit of both on my brush here, and we'll do this green section. So there's a nice bright feathers right along the middle of his body right here. Go all the way down to the tail with this green. And of course there's all kinds of different hummingbird patterns and breeds, so you can use it would be the same, you would just kind of do the dark version of whatever the top color is. So if you were doing a red hummingbird with some red, you would put a dark deep maroon or something like a brownish red underneath and then put your bright red on top. So you can adapt this to whatever hummingbirds you want. I'm not sure what kind this is. I'm sure there's somebody who knows. Okay, pretty. I did say pretty. You heard me right. Let's grab the Ultramarine Blue. I'm going to mix some of the Quinacridone Magenta with it. Make a purple. A violet, more on the blue side. It's a little bit more of the violet. And I'm going to go over maybe a little bit of white. And I could have used dioxazine purple instead, but I was using the pink for the flowers, so do this section right there with the pink.
Could you use like an iridescent or something to make it
Absolutely.
shiny?
Yes. Yeah. In fact, I thought about that somebody was asking about using interference paints, and this would be a perfect project for that. What you would do is just paint the whole thing. You know, I've got ultramarine blue here with some white now. And yeah, paint it normal, and then just go over the top layers with the iridescent or interference paints. Actually, I can do it at the end if I can pull some out. They're pretty transparent, so you kind of need your color underneath for it to show up. Okay, a little bit darker ultramarine blue here, and I'm just gonna put in a bit more right there. Okay, and we grab some burnt umber and some of the, let's get some of this green here. Let me see. Nah, I think I want the teal. Teal and burnt umber. That'll work. I'm going to use that down here in this part of the body. Yep, that's perfect. Sometimes I do this. This one had so many different colors in it, I couldn't quite remember what colors I all used for each area, but that works. Ultramarine blue, a little bit of teal, or not ultramarine, burnt umber, and a little bit of teal. Let me use that under here too. Kind of creating a light gray brown. And I'm going to go a little bit over the top of the green, just slightly. Put it right there. Grab some phthalo blue, a little bit of white. A little tiny bit of black. We'll create the gray for underneath here. A little bit more white than that. There we go. Just creating a little texture there. Let's go ahead and put it back here too. Under the wing there's the shadow right here. And let's put a little bit.
Okay, somebody in chat has said that the hummingbird is a blue-chinned sapphire hummingbird.
Ooh, blue-chinned sapphire.
I think it's a
Pretty.
cad blue chinned sapphire with dirty white highlights.
Mm-hmm. Grabbing some white here. I put up way more white than I needed to on this one. It's alright. And I'm going to grab some turquoise. A little bit of green. Phthalo green. Kind of make a mint green there. With a slight turquoise. And something very, very light here. Almost white. We'll use that right here to create our highlights on this section. I'm going to wipe most of that paint off so that it's a little too thick on my brush.
Deborah wants to know, could they add mother of pearl
Mm-hmm.
to
Yeah.
the paint or wait to the end?
You know, if you've got an iridescent medium, there's iridescent mediums that can make your paints iridescent. So I think Liquitex is the only brand that I know of that has it. You can add it to whatever color you want. Grab a little bit of that turquoise. So yeah,
Yeah,
I
see
think
it right
any
here
of
in
that
the
would
spinner.
work, huh?
I said I see it right here in the spinner.
The iridescent. Well,
Iridescent
we can try
medium.
it. Let me pull it out and try some. Let's see what it looks like. Oops, it's brand new. I'll just use what's on the cap there.
Please put the lid. Please put the lid on there before we knock it over.
Yeah.
Blop.
Oh, I've done that. You remember when well, you weren't here. I dumped a whole thing of medium like that was full in my lap once it just dropped and it just poured off the table into my lap. And I just sat there for a second like, what do you do? I mean, like it ran down my legs and it was in my shoes. It was that much paint, and I was just like so freaked out. I didn't even know what to do. I had to thankfully the boys weren't here because I had to literally strip down and walk back to the bedroom to change of clothes because I was not about to walk through the house with that dripping all the way. Oh my goodness.
So when you say that you've done pretty much it all, you've done pretty much all.
Yeah.
You've had a lot.
One time I splattered. I was showing them how to splatter, and I turned to do it and splattered on one of my students in class.
Nice.
Yeah, that was classy. That was probably one of my best moments. So there's the iridescent medium. We'll see what it's just going to give it some shine. We'll add it a little bit right here. This is what you would do with you can see how you really need to add, have something underneath that's got some, like it's not white. It looks white, but it's not. It's transparent. So you really need to have your colors down first and then add it on top. All right, so I'm going to keep going here with my turquoisey color and do this on the back. It's got the pressing that flat, getting off the extra. It's a fine line. You don't want it too dry, but if you have it too wet, it doesn't do this kind of wispy thing that we want it to do. So gonna have to get it just right. Get some teal here. Actually, a little bit darker than that. A little bit of white. What time is it? 7? Oh, we're doing good. Good, so Hummingbird's about an hour. He's almost done. A little bit more white. Do a little highlight right there on his beak. And a little highlight on either side of the eye and that little gray part. There we go. Alright, now I need to work on the wings a little bit. I'm going to grab some Ultramarine Blue. And this section has some of that dark ultramarine and some brown. So grab some brown, burnt umber, and make this nice and dark right through here. Grab some black. Do a little bit of black right there. And then there's a dark brown spot or dark something right there in his, I don't know if it's brown. dark shadow right there.
It's a tattoo.
Just gonna tap the color and kind of blend it out with my finger. And then I'm gonna use this dark color right around, this is kind of almost black here. I'm gonna tap in all along right here, right under the eye, and just down into that blue part just a little bit. Kind of in his chin area. Really darken that up. Do a little bit of right here. And a little bit down under here. Just darkening up some of those shadow areas. Let's grab the burnt sienna and a little bit of water. And there's some burnt sienna in these tail feathers. Just add a little bit of that, hint of that color. And then while I've got that on my brush, I'm going to add a little bit of the Unbleached Titanium to it. So I still have the dark brown, I've got some burnt sienna, I've got all kinds of different colors on here. And if I've had this dark enough, I should be able to just kind of brush on some highlights on these wings with these colors and get, yeah, that's working. Ooh. Thank you, just lightly brushing towards the center. Thank you.
We got a super chat from Kim.
Thank you, Kim.
Thank you so much.
We really appreciate that. Cashmere's mound. She's even getting in on it. She's like, brr.
She is strange.
She is. She's a princess. She's our indoor kitty. Does not like the grass. Will not go outside. Except for on the porch. She's okay on the porch if somebody's out there with her for a short amount of time. And then if you go inside, she freaks out and runs in. I'm gonna grab some the gray here, add that to my brown. Actually grab some black there. Sorry. Making a gray. And just sort of having that lighter color sort of on the top edge there. And these come in this way. And the outside edge is a little bit blurred in our photograph, so, or my photograph, so I'm leaving that outside edge sort of fuzzy in this, going over it and sort of, so it's not real clean. A little bit, let's grab a little bit of white. And there's a little highlight on these wings right in here. Like I think some sunlight's poking through. There. Okay. Good. Grab some of that turquoise. A little bit of the Unbleached Titanium. Maybe a tiny bit of black. And I'm going to do it's kind of leading feathers right there. And then let's do a little bit on the underside of here, even though it's supposed to grab some of that brown. Do a little bit of darker layer of feathers right there. This actually comes down a little farther than I painted it, so I'm going to put that, bring that down. Right there. Grab a little bit of Unbleached Titanium. There we go. Camera keeps meowing.
She wants me to follow her somewhere, I think.
She wants, yeah. She's probably going to try to convince you that she hasn't been fed today. she likes to do that. Mark will come home and she'll meow like as if she's been starving all day, when really she's already eaten and barfed once. You know, like that's her normal.
Welcome to dinner, everybody.
Yep, she's TMI. Is that TMI? Sorry. All right, I'm gonna add a little bit of black. Ooh, yes, another cipher tap.
Yeah, we
Wow.
got another one from Margaret.
Thank you.
Margaret, yeah, thank you so much.
Just gonna really create a little bit of dark. There we go. And then I want to soften up this line right there, so I'm gonna grab a little bit of this turquoise and a little bit of white. Actually, some of that bright yellow green. Now I'm looking at a picture with some turquoise, or teal, I should say. And tap in that right there, just to soften that color right there. Grab a little bit of the darker green, and I'm going to tap over. Let me grab some burnt umber. You can see how it's kind of just, it's a lot of layers of different colors. There we go. Just kind of softening that up right there. Grab some white in the turquoise or teal color here and just sort of go over that a little bit to just blend that in. All right, now what I can do is go in, and if I've got any areas where, like right here, I think I want a little bit brighter yellow-green, so I'm going to grab that and add just a little bit of highlights over the top of some of these feathers. Set it down, just kind of flicking it to get some brighter green on there. Maybe do a little bit right there, a little tiny bit in here maybe. And I can also go in with some transparent color, so I can use some glazing liquid or just some water and a thin down my paint and go over the top of some of these colors and just wash in or glaze on a little bit of color to tint it. It'll just kind of soften up some of the transitions. Grab a little bit of the turquoise, do that. So some of these highlights might have gotten a little bit too bright. So you can always go back in with this little wash and just sort of tap in a little bit of a glaze on it. I'm gonna grab some burnt umber here and darken up right here. This part of the wing is dark. Okay, I think we're pretty good on there. I might have go back in and do some more outlining of these feathers just to kind of give them a little bit more definition. I think it looks pretty good. Let's put in some flowers real quick. Actually, I want to do one more thing I just noticed. I need another little highlight on these purple section. So a little bit of the white and Quinacridone Magenta, maybe teeny tiny bit of blue. But this time I'm going more pink. Wipe that off. And I want right in here, there's just a really bright highlight right on that little section right there. Okay. Better. This one one got a little bit of a belly. I don't know how that happened. Maybe she's pregnant.
Spending too much time at the feeder.
I guess so. Yeah. Yeah, he's probably a little bit more straight right here. But, there we go.
Oh, that was so nice of you.
Give him a
Liposuction.
a quick liposuction. Yeah, I wish it was that easy. All right. Realizing I need to go in with some lighter color right here. All right, I'm gonna call that good. I can nitpick on him all day, so I'm just gonna stop. We'll give him a couple of flowers and we'll be good to go. Are you good to keep going, honey? I did the flowers last so that we could not do them if we didn't have time.
Let's see.
Stop?
Let me check my calendar here. Hold on.
Well, I know you're hungry, so.
Eat. Watch YouTube videos. No, I'm
Okay.
I can skip eating.
You can skip it.
Yeah. I'm all right.
All right. Zoom out a little bit for me, please. There you go. Good. Okay, so let's put our flowers in right here. She's not giving up. She's going to keep meowing until you come and see what we should have kicked her out. Okay, do another one right here. A little bit lower. They kind of grow in these little clusters, so they all probably should kind of point in the same direction somewhat. And then okay, so like that. All right, we'll call that good, and then I'll just do one big leaf right here, and I'm not going to do a bunch of leaves. I'll show you how to do one, and you can add more if you want to. So let's do these dark ones. We've got Ultramarine Blue and Quinacridone Magenta. And I've got all kinds of flower tutorials, so you could pop this guy into my wildflowers tutorial if you wanted to, you know, leave a little room for him in that one, or I've got the poppy field that would work, all kinds of different ones that we've done with flowers in fields. We've also got the one where we had the cosmos, I think, so feel free to add your own flowers, or put him in another scene altogether, whatever you want to do. He's easy to add to other lessons. Okay. And then the front edge is just kind of scalloped, so it just kind of does this little rounded thing here. Sort of trumpet shape. And then grabbing some white. And coming up along the top side here and pulling in white streaks And I really didn't blend these too much, just kind of let it streak. Like that. And then tap in some highlight like right along that front edge. Alright, those are those two. Let's keep going here. I want to do the underside ones first, so let's do this one. This is actually creating some nice streaks with the white and the pink that was already in my brush. What you laughing at?
So you're going to be adding the iridescent at the end, right?
Oh, I forgot. Well, I mean, I showed how to do it
Okay.
on the cheek there. No, I wasn't planning on it.
Oh, okay. So
I
you did it
can.
on the cheek part?
I did it right here.
Yeah.
Or right here, actually. But yeah, I would just go in with the...
So do you do it when the paint is wet, or?
No,
When it's
you
dry?
just... It's transparent, so really, I'll do a little bit with the Ultramarine Blue. You can see what it looks like. But I just take the medium or whatever it is, or your interference paint in whatever color you're using, and just mix a light wash with it, or I'll mix a light glaze with the iridescent medium, and then just brush that over the top of whatever area I want to have that blue iridescent color. And it'll, in fact, I could just do the whole thing with it. It would just have a slight blue tint to it. And if I want it more, dark paint, I would just add more paint and less iridescent medium, but it'll dry kind of shiny.
Okay.
So it'll, I don't know, you can't see the sheen very well there.
Yeah, you can see it there.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. You were worried about it. I know you were like,
Well, no, there was one
Couple of
particular
people.
person in chat who was wanting to see
Okay.
that, so I
Okay.
just want to make sure we didn't miss it.
yeah, no problem. I just forgot about it. Okay, adding some streaks of the darker color here this time. I add a little bit of this medium color to these ones. A little bit of water to keep my paint from breaking up. If your paint is not going on smoothly, usually you just need a little bit of water, or you can even use a little bit of glazing medium if you want to. That'll help create a little bit more fluidity in your paint. So if it's kind of dry and breaking up on the canvas when you're trying to paint it on, you just need to add a little bit of water. Especially with the heavy body acrylics, a lot of times they need a little water to help them move because they're a lot thicker than other paints.
All right, another question about interference paint. So will it only work over wet paint?
No,
Or will
no.
it change the color on dry? No, okay.
No, and it really doesn't change the color because you think of it like a transparent wash almost. All it does is add a sheen. So it's almost like a varnish layer in a way. It's not a varnish, but if you want to think about it that way, It just adds a sheen. It doesn't really change the color of anything. It can if you add a color to it, but it doesn't. It's not as shiny if you add color to it. So if you were to go a lot thicker with your paint and add, and this is not interference paint. This is iridescent medium. So it's a different whole thing altogether, but they act pretty similar. Iridescent medium can be added to any paint color to create an iridescent paint. Interference paints have two colors that they change with. So I grab one. Sorry, hope that wasn't too loud. So the violet looks like it changes to maybe green and violet. I'm not sure what the two colors are on here. You can kind of see how it changes color depending on the way the light hits it. So it actually kind of looks like it goes on sort of gold almost. So I'll put a little bit of this down and you can see what it looks like. But it's very transparent, very, or I should say translucent, and so if I put it over, I'll put it over one of these colors that's already dried here. You can see how it looks. If you look straight on, you can't really see it, and then if you turn it to the side, it shows up. So I can put a little bit of that on right there. It makes it a little bit milkier, so your color will end up, it looks the best over dark colors, obviously, and it'll change the value just slightly. It'll make it a little bit more muted slightly, but then it shows up in the dark. Okay, that's enough of that. So that's the interference paint, and those come in colors. So that one was violet, and they come in all kinds of different colors, and they each have their own kind of two color properties. So that one actually looks kind of reddish when it dries. Okay, doing some of this dark along this bottom edge here. A little bit right here. And then let's do another one right here that's kind of on top of them. Let me do the center of it so I know where it goes. Okay, right there.
Evelyn wants to know if zinc mixing white would work the same as the iridescent.
It would just not. Well, I mean, it doesn't have that iridescent, property to it. It would cause them, a milkiness or, a transparency to your highlights if you wanted to do that. But no, in this case, I would say no. You probably wouldn't want to use it because there's really none of these where you need it. I think they're pretty. I use it mostly when I'm doing like clouds or something where I needed to look like there's a transparent layer of some sort. clouds, water. Adding my highlight here. All right, there we go, good enough. And then let's do our leaf real quick and we'll be done. I'm going to do Phthalo Green. And use a little bit of the burnt umber just to tone it down slightly. Deepen up the color. We'll do a leaf right here. Actually, it kind of bends down like that. Okay. Heck, why not? Let's just go ahead and put a couple more in here. We're going to end up having to wait for that one to dry.
Exactly.
Well, we got to wait for that one to dry anyways, so might as well.
So do we know what we're doing Saturday?
Yes, Saturday we're going to do, well, we'll be uploading this video that was recorded for the Patreon folks 2 months ago. So that'll be uploaded and go live. It's a pre-recorded, and then that'll be public. And then for the Patreon folks, we're doing a Van Gogh painting. It'll be a lemons, Van Gogh lemons on a plate. So that's the plan, at least.
So if they want to see us live,
yes, they can
be Patreon.
Sign up for the $5 level on Patreon, and you'll find the link on my Patreon page. And I'll probably be posting that on Thursday, so you have till, but you know, you can go sign up anytime Saturday
and the link,
or whatever. And what? Go
the
ahead.
link to the Patreon page is down below in the
Yes,
description.
in the description, yes.
You can click the little arrow for more below the video, and you can see all the supplies and links to the social media and Patreon, the brush guys. I think that's about it.
Yeah. Okay.
All that good stuff.
Thank you, honey. I'm sorry. Thank you.
No, that's
very much.
okay. You can paint. I'll talk.
Thanks.
I was just thinking the other day after you did your, we were talking about Van Gogh and the Hay series.
Monet. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, him, Monet. The same
Right.
same thing, whatever. And thinking, I just imagine if he had a YouTube channel.
Oh, man.
Saturday, we're going to be painting hay again. And join us next Tuesday for hay.
Hay in the morning, and hay at night, and hay in the snow,
That'd
and hay
be one exciting.
at
So,
sunset, sunrise, hay.
so just imagine you doing the same hummingbird painting over and over again
In
for the
every
next
light
month.
possible,
Yeah.
every imaginable yeah. And he didn't even really change the composition, which was the funny thing. You know, I mean, he just changed the colors and the, you know, he was just all about exploring the light. He didn't care about the composition necessarily. He found a good composition, he stuck with it, and then he just explored every possible version of that. Okay, I'm just kind of pulling in with this lighter green. This, ideally I would wait till this green, the darker green, dried, but I'm kind of being impatient right now. So curving in from the sides to create some highlights in our leaf. Grab my liner brush. Ooh, thank you.
We got another one
Wow.
from Frisky Christie.
Thank you.
Says, thanks, Angela and Mark! Exclamation point.
Aw,
Thank you so much for your donation. Appreciate it.
yes, thank you. Cashmere's not giving up. She's just gonna be as annoying as possible until you get up and
Okay,
stop.
next show I'm just going to mic her up.
Yeah,
Look at your own lapel mic and just clip it on her.
clip it on her. She obviously has stuff to say. Okay. Highlighting that. I'm just creating a few veins here. Whoop. Not being particularly detailed with these leaves. Just kind of creating a few little highlights. I think I want to highlight this one just a little bit more. So I'm going to grab a little bit of the light pink color. Create. Wow.
We're just going to do a show of all cowbell
I know,
tonight.
that's
That's from
awesome.
Deborah Lawson. Thank you so much for your donation.
Thank you. That's amazing. I do like your cowbell. Got a fever. The only prescription is more cowbell.
More cowbell. I'm the same as you. I put my pants on in the morning just like you, except after I do, I make
Gold records.
gold records. I make YouTube videos.
Yeah. Oh, goodness. We're such SNL nerds. If you've never seen that skit, look it up. Saturday Night Live. Cowbell. That's all I'm saying. It's pretty awesome. All right, I think we're done. I'm going to sign it. Call it good. Did I make a noise
I
there?
mean, you're catching me off guard. No,
Sorry.
I got to get ready for the ending
Oh,
here.
okay. Yeah, you can click off the... I'm using my waterproof pen here. Waterproof, light fast Pigma pen. I've also got links to that down in the description, actually, the Pitt pens, but they're basically the same thing. And there we have it. Cute. I might have gone back in and added a few more. I don't know, you can always add more detail if you want to the background, but I kind of like it. It's a little bit different. Pretty simple. So I hope you guys have enjoyed it. An hour and a half, not too bad. That's, yeah, about what I thought. So thanks so much for watching, guys. We really appreciate you. Thank you to all the subscribers that for our Patreon folks and the folks who donated the super chat. So thank you, and we will see you next time. Bye.